Before before the video starts, I just want to mention one thing. Me and Maya have a radio show. It's called Uncut with Ray and Maya. Please come check us out every Wednesdays from 11 to 12 exclusively on 254 Radio. Links will be in the description. I'm super excited about it, and let's get on now with the video. Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and non-binary. Welcome to the 5th episode of Untold. Today we're going to be talking about the Kenyan Mafia bank heist, which a bunch of guys managed to heist around 96 million shillings in the year 1998. That's a lot of money back then, but we're carrying on. Before we continue the video, I want to thank you so much for the support. Thank you for showing me all your love, and thank you so much for growing the series. It's been amazing. Now, this story, I just decided to cover it, even though it happened around 20 years ago. I felt like it was still worth it, and we always cover things that aren't what they seem. Now, in this image, take a look at that gun over there. It will be very important for the story. Please note the gun. Please. Anyway, let's carry on with the story. Alright. So, 20 years ago, in the year 1998, a team that was working for a security company came to withdraw a large amount from the bank tellers. So usually they have been doing this trip over and over, so they would usually just come, park in front of the bank and do their business and get out. But if in this case it was very, very different. They also did not expect the unexpected, like the way you guys do with the Untold. Anyway, so they came walking, marching, expecting that they're going to get their millions and millions of shillings, and they came marching, only to be just told by the bank teller, hey, there's nothing left. There's been a robbery and these guys have taken all the money, but don't worry, they'll be caught soon. So now these guys are wondering, what do you mean there's no money? How can this be possible? They started arguing back and forth. And at that time, of course, people had invaded the bank because they were thinking that these guys would come back and do more havoc. So these guys are just arguing. I'm wondering why they're still standing there. I mean, a robbery took place. You should run for your life. And yes, that's what happened. So how did this thing happen? So it was just a normal day, people at the bank were just standing, waiting to be served and whatnot. It was just a casual day, one of those days that, it's just a normal day. In fact, it was sunny on that day. I'm talking as if I'm remembering it. Anyway, so on that same day, it was around 7:30 a.m. Yeah, around 7:30 a.m. Around 6 people that looked very, very suspicious walked into the bank, and with their aim was to steal all the money that was in the bank. I mean, that's a really huge goal. I guess they've been planning this for months, because they knew that they only had 15 minutes, because it would take 15 minutes for the cops to arrive. Now, what happened was very unusual, in that as they were walking, they didn't all end up in the cashier. They all stopped, and I'm guessing the leader whispered something to the bank teller, or am I calling her cashier, and somehow she was refusing to cooperate. And guess what this guy does? He places a gun on top of the desk, and now everybody's just shook, wondering, hey, what's going on here? And in fact, the guy being served was like just frozen and wondering what's happening, you know. So what happened next was that they argued and argued until they were taken to the vault where all the money was kept, obviously. Now they put the bags there and they were just shoving money into the bags, until the whole thing was just clear. They even took gold, anything that was just priceful. So they just took gold and everything. And the important part is they left something on top of the table. It looked like a note or something of that sort. It was just written, and I was like, what? Why would they leave just a note hanging around there? Do they want to be caught? Because that's evidence against them. Anyway, I don't know what these guys were planning. So within the 15 minutes, I think these guys were gone, or maybe, I don't know. Let's find out. So of course the cops arrived there after they were alerted that there's a robbery taking place. But of course, these guys, obviously, they were too late. These guys had gone, the whole bank was empty. The bank teller was trying to tell them that, hey, these guys have disappeared. And unfortunately, they were too late. So now what happened was that they set up roadblocks so that they can actually catch these people. They were causing traffic, and they were checking the car one by one for suspicious people, obviously to try and find them, just so that they can actually find out who did it and maybe recover the money. But unfortunately, to their dismay, they were finding it hard to find these guys. Now the thing is, I think either they escaped before the roadblock, or something else happened and they left before the roadblock. Those are my two theories. So here's how I want to explain what really happened. How did they do it without firing even a single shot? As you know, things aren't always as they seem. And I also want to explain to you why they left a note on top of that desk. Coming up. Alright. So here's the deal. First of all, that gun, in case you didn't notice, it wasn't real. Yes, it wasn't real. It was a fake toy gun gotten from a thrift store. It was completely fake and it was all plastic. So if these guys just made an effort to just touch it, they would have probably found out that this gun was fake. As you can see, it's just made of plastic, but they didn't. Now, as for the note, it was of sentimental value to them, and this is what it read. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what it read, because it was quite weird. It was a thank you note to the bank. I mean, who does that? A thank you note to the bank. They were like, thank you so much for the money. We will now live happily for the rest of our lives. I was like, what? How polite of them to just send the thank you note and leave it on top. I don't know. There were no fingerprints on this paper, by the way. They couldn't trace them. So it was so big until to the point where this robbery was published everywhere on all newspapers, and yeah, it was something crazy. So I decided to cover it. Now you're asking, were they ever caught? Not really, to this day. I'm sure you're probably expecting them to have been caught at the end, but no, to this day nobody knows where they were. Yeah, so that's the story of the greatest bank heist in Kenya. I do believe that it probably was the best, because it was just a walk in, walk out. Now the only thing I never asked myself is, well, they must have tried to trace these people, because 96 million at the time is probably a lot of money. But anyway, that's just me. I'm amazed how they did it, especially with like a fake gun. I'm sure you guys weren't expecting that. You're probably expecting to see some action, people being shot, people dying. Because I'm sure this is what you guys are here for. Anyway, before we end this video, I've got a few announcements. The first one is part 3 of Life in Kenyan High Schools is definitely coming back, so please stay tuned. I will have you guys vote for the next topic that I want to cover, either part 3 Life in Kenyan High Schools or something different. So please tell me guys what you think, and you can also let me know how I can improve my videos, because while it's you guys who give me this chance to do this kind of videos. So this has been Ray Frank. Well, most people know me as Ray. I don't know who still calls me Frank. Maybe some of you do, but anyway, you can call me either. They're both me. Anyway, see you guys soon, and take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed this episode, because I really did. So yeah, that is it for now. Enjoy some 80s retro music. I shall see you in the next episode. Visca!